Hello, and welcome back to the Pure Nintendo podcast. This is your weekly dose of all things Nintendo. My name is Gemma, and joining me this week, I am extra fortunate to have my two very good friends. I have Kirk. Welcome back, Kirk.
Good to be back.
Excellent to have you. And joining us again this week, we have Trev. Welcome back, Trev.
I don't get the one and only introduction like Kirk does.
No, there's more than one of you. There are like four of you, aren't there?
You do the work before, so I don't know how.
I don't know
That's what
about
you're putting
that.
in.
Maybe two.
Two,
Two and a
okay,
half.
just the two. Well, we've got one of the two Trevs. I don't know.
There's
But we're
Trev and there's Trevor.
exactly. But either way, we're glad one of you could join us this week. It is a big week. I know I say this every week, but we had a Nintendo Direct this week. So I love these shows because they're so much fun to dissect all of the content that Nintendo revealed. And it was a bit of a thing. Everyone was talking about a Direct during July. Won't there be one? They all wanted one, and we got one, which is nice. Did you guys expect that? Because it was kind of like the day before. Hey, there'll be a Nintendo Direct tomorrow. Were you surprised?
I wasn't surprised.
Mhm.
No.
No. It had been talked about so
Yeah.
much. It seemed like, yeah,
A
I don't
lot of
know.
the websites picked up on like a rumor, and it's hard to be
Yeah,
surprised anymore.
it
People
is.
are
Yeah.
anxious to break
Yeah.
stuff. So.
Yeah, exactly. But it was really good. I think we wanted a third party showcase, I think amongst our team at least, surely. I think we've talked about that before. We wanted to know about new games coming, especially to the Switch 2. So we got that. It was a very I think it was I before we just get into the games, I mean, what were your overall thoughts of the Direct? Were you pleased? Was it kind of mid? I tended to go in the positive direction for me. It wasn't exactly what I wanted, but I did get a lot out of it. So, maybe Trevor, what did you think overall?
Um, I guess I'd probably use your word mid, maybe for me.
Mhm.
Just looking over these lists, I mean, there's quite a few games I'm
Mm.
excited about, but there's also some I've got no interest, which is kind of every direct, that's sort of the
Yeah.
case, right? Um, I am sort of wondering and I didn't pick up, I didn't pause a lot, but like a lot of these third party games, I'm assuming they're probably like game key card
Mm.
releases. So
Mhm.
that's obviously a thing. I don't want to, chew up our time getting back into that. But,
Yeah.
it was decent. And obviously, Switch 2 games are pricey. So there's only going to be so many I'll be able to get anyway,
Yeah, that's true.
unless we get review codes. So
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
reasonably satisfied.
Okay, sounds good. What about you, Kirk? Overall thoughts?
I think I'm right in line with Trev on this. But what it really comes down to every time is there a game in here that really hooked me, that really has me excited? And
Mhm.
there aren't. There are a
Okay.
lot of games here that I think look really good, and I will play them and I will probably enjoy them, but there's like no number one gotta have it game on this list for my personal tastes. That doesn't mean that game's not out there for other people. There are a lot of games here that I'm sure a lot of people are going to love, but for me
Mm.
personally, there was just nothing that
Yeah.
really grabbed me.
Fair enough. I think I'm the same, to be honest. Yeah. A lot of good content, a lot of cool games, but maybe not that one big thing that, for us at least. But let's
Yeah,
go through them. Let's go through our highlights because there were, I think, 26 games in total, if my counting is correct.
It's
We
about a game
won't
a minute.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we'll do our best to we'll cover most of them, but we might just skip over a few that, we already know about or that potentially just weren't new, wasn't new information, for example. But there was a lot that was new, and they started off with a pretty big, I guess, title to talk about, which was Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection, which is coming out for the Switch 2 in 2026. So this is a brand new entry in the Monster Hunter Stories series, which is like a spin-off, right? For the Monster Hunter series. And I've not played either of the first two, but I think it looked really, really good. And hopefully it'll be a good showcase for the Switch too, graphically. But Trev, did you have some thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I get a few. First of all, if you haven't, Gemma, or for anyone who hasn't played the first two games, they are currently on sale
Mm.
at only 19.99, which is a third off and half off, respectively. Um, I'm kind of glad that the game's coming out in 2026 because, well, first of all, I don't feel like I'm going to have to, cram it into a busy holiday season where there's a ton of games.
Mm,
But also for those who maybe missed out on the prior entries, maybe they want to pick them up on the cheap and sort of get up to speed with the whole story's format. It's very, well, I shouldn't say very, it's different from the core Monster Hunter series, right? Which is more gritty and, um, Monster Hunter Stories is more colorful. And
mhm,
it's a Monster Hunter story. It's a Monster Hunter game for people who maybe aren't into the core series, which is sort of how I feel. I think Justin was similar.
mhm,
The original game kind of hooked us in ways the other ones didn't, and it's not for lack of trying because I've tried a few Monster Hunter games, but yeah, something about this series and this game in particular looks nice. It's one of the few trailers that I watched more than once. I kind of dig the little moniker too, Twisted Reflection,
mm. Yeah,
and yeah, I hope that it'll be interesting to see because this is one that's going to be across all platforms. So I'm really curious how Switch 2 matches up to, some of its contemporaries now that it's a more powerful system.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I agree. Are they all releasing at the same time? Well, we don't know, it's just 2026, but we assume they would be, right?
Yeah, I would certainly hope so. I mean, if they don't, well, yeah. The only possible reason I could see they wouldn't is if one console had something that was specific, like some kind of timed exclusive, but
Mm,
or like if
yep.
Nintendo had if they had some new amiibo, because the original
Mm.
Monster Hunter stories had amiibo that were launched with it in Japan. So maybe they're bringing in
True.
some new amiibo. I don't know, but
Yeah, suddenly I'm interested again. I
yeah,
don't have that one. And you're right, they're both on sale, the first 2. In fact, Monster Hunter Stories 2 has a free demo as well, and that one, like you said, is half price, if you bought the full game. But yeah, there's a demo if people were interested. Maybe I should check that out. I probably
yeah.
have downloaded the demo and just not played it, to be honest, but yeah. That's
It's
cool.
it's an interesting. Yeah, it's just let me know if you do because it'll be fun to talk about. I remember back in the day, I enjoyed talking about it with Justin, and
Mm, does it have a
it'll
bit of
be
a
cool.
Pokemon element where you catch monsters? Is that right?
Yeah, I guess so. It's interesting. I mean, you're so this is going to make me sound goofy, but I'm not alone in this. The whole idea with like Monster Hunter Stories is you're not knocking the monsters out,
Mhm.
like you do in Pokemon. You're killing them. So
Right.
and it was tough for me because they're kind of just roaming about, minding their own business most of the time, and it's like, oh boy, I feel like a jerk. So I would play it more stealthy, trying to like sneak in and steal the eggs because I felt less guilty. And
Mm.
granted, it's a game, it's make believe, but that was my own approach, and I think Justin actually played the same way, which is sort of how we bonded over the game a bit.
Yeah.
Um, but obviously, playing that approach kind of limits the whole collectible aspect. So, um,
Yeah.
but it's a big game, and I first played it on 3DS, and on that, it really felt like it was you got to melt the system because it was really ambitious for the old hardware. So,
Mm. Yeah.
yeah, I'm not
Awesome.
judging anyone who slaughters the monsters because I mean, it's Monster Hunter. You're hunting them, right? I
Yeah,
get it.
yeah, yeah, that's it. I feel like that's one of the reasons I've avoided it, to be honest, but, I mean, we kill things in other games, like, we're happy to kill monsters in The Legend of Zelda, so, I don't know. Maybe they seem more antagonistic in other games? Are
And
they
like, I mean, I'll play like the Cabela hunting games, but I'm always like in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm cooking up this deer. I'm gonna eat it, or I'm making clothing out of this hide here, and it's my own weird little quirk. So,
You need to
um,
take like the Avatar approach where you apologize to it and send it off to its home or whatever the
Yeah, yeah.
the weird I'm returning you to the earth. I'm doing you a favor by killing you.
Yeah.
oh man,
Yeah, that's that's good. Thank you, Trev. Let's move on to the next game, which is Once Upon a Katamari, which is coming out on October the 24th on the Switch. And I have no idea what this game is. I saw it and I'm like, I don't know what this is. Is this a new? Is this a new series? Is this an existing series? What is this? I did not recognize it at all. Trav, do you know much about
Unfortunately, a little bit. The only
it?
reason I put my name here
Hmm.
is I am not a fan, and I feel like it puts me in the minority because
Ah,
I
hmm.
feel like this is a cult classic that everyone who talks about it they seem to love. And I reviewed the the first game on Switch, which was a remaster of the original game, and
Mm.
um, I'm not sure if that's I don't even remember when that was. I don't know if it's on Metacritic or not. It might be too old, but everyone loved it but me.
Ah,
And I'm like,
right.
what the heck am I missing? It, so I feel like everybody's got that one game that either everyone loves and you hate, or vice versa. Everyone hates it, but you love it. And this is mine, uh,
Right.
Katamari Damacy. So I hate the controls. I hate the king character. He's obnoxious. And I hope this game finds its audience.
Mm.
And that's all I could say. You can look up the review I did on Pure Nintendo. I
Yeah,
scored
okay.
it a 4, and even that felt generous because I'm like, everyone's gonna hate me already. So
Wow, because it's like that must have been a while ago. Oh, was it a remaster? Because yeah, this is the first new entry in 14 years, but there was some sort of remaster that
yeah, it was like
came out. Yeah.
re-roll Katamari Damacy. Okay, it was back in December 2018. I just
Right.
looked.
Yeah.
So
That's a fair while back, yeah. Mm.
yeah, I don't know if
Uh,
my tastes have changed in 7 years, but
it certainly
um,
looks odd, quirky, I guess. It's like a puzzle, what,
it is
action
quirky. You'd think I would
adventure?
love it because I
Yeah.
love quirky games.
Yeah. Too quirky? I'll be quirky.
I, those are Southwestern ingredients. I just hope the controls work good. Maybe with the mouse controls, they can get
Mm.
a system that works. Because on the previous game, they had two control setups, like a traditional and motion, and I didn't like either of them, from what I recall. So
Yeah, okay. Well, that's fine. We appreciate your honesty there. I can't add an opinion because I've never played it. It looks like it's it's fairly high on Metacritic though, but that's okay.
uh,
That's okay. You have no experience with this, Kirk?
No, it sounds like I'm not going to.
hey, don't let me talk you out of it. I mean,
Someone's got to.
Yeah.
maybe the
Interesting.
listeners like the game, and maybe they can chime in and let us know
Yeah.
the
Let us know
series.
if this is one of your secret favorite games or something. Yeah, I just have no memory of this thing at all. So definitely can't offer an opinion there. But good to know your thoughts, Trev. Thank you. I'll link to your review, maybe on YouTube so people can read it. Make
I'm
up their
gonna get
mind.
some hate mail here, but
I'm sure you justify it well. You're a very fair reviewer, so I'm sure it's fine.
I try.
Yeah. Next up is, it wouldn't be another year without another Just Dance edition. So, of course, Just Dance 2026 was announced. I guess we would have assumed this was already coming, but it comes out in October, as it tends to do for each year. This one, I actually recognized most of the songs in the trailer. I was like, huh, that's actually got a decent soundtrack. I know, I know all these songs. And Trev, I believe you've dabbled in the series in the past. I've only really played it maybe at my family's. Like my brother seems to have a few of these, and sometimes at Christmas we might play. Like after we have a big, you know, lunch as you do, and then you rest for a bit, and then you decide you want to dance. So Just Dance sometimes comes out. But how do you feel about this one, Trev?
Yeah, they're good party games or group games.
Mm.
I've reviewed a few. Unlike you, I didn't recognize.
Ah,
I think they had a Madonna. I
they
recognized Madonna,
did. They
but
did. Yeah.
um, the main reason I put my name here, and this is something I didn't realize till just recently. I'm not sure how long it's been in effect, but Just Dance for a long time had Just Dance Unlimited, which was like a subscription service. You pay
Yeah.
for like the month or 3 months maybe or the year, and
Mhm.
you have access to a huge back catalog of well over a decade's worth of Just Dance games. They were like 500, 600, whatever.
Mhm.
And I don't know if they lost licensing rights to a lot of those, but it's much smaller and much more
Mm.
reduced. I forget how I saw it. Oh, I think I was maybe with a friend and she showed me, and I'm like, wow, that's so odd. So I guess if you're into the series because of the back catalog, maybe look into that a little more. But obviously, if you like the new songs, I mean, this entry is probably going to be as good as any other. It's Just Dance.
Yeah, you know what you're gonna get. I have to admit, I thought the same thing, Trev, when I saw this because they didn't mention that unlimited, or I didn't know, I couldn't remember what it was called. But I was even saying to my son who was watching the direct with me, I'm like, oh, they usually give you the option to sort of subscribe to a whole bunch of extra songs or something, but they didn't mention that. So they mentioned that there are 40 new tracks, right? So
Hmm.
yeah, but there is an ultimate edition, deluxe edition. Maybe I don't know what the difference between those would be. Would they have more tracks, maybe?
The website
Yeah.
says that they still have a service called Just Dance Plus.
Ah, okay.
Dance
Mhm.
to hundreds of songs with one free month access to Just Dance Plus. So I'm assuming some of the songs are in there.
Ah, there you go.
And any content you own from 2023, 24, and 25, you will still have access to, as they say, in one place.
Wow.
So if you purchase previous editions, I guess you get to keep the songs from those. It doesn't say what the subscription price is for Just Dance Plus or how many songs are in there, just hundreds.
Oh, there you go. So there is something there. I wonder how that works if you have, say, any of those previous editions. You've played them. Can you sell? Like, can you get rid of them? Do you still need them somehow? Because you can only use one. Let's just say it was a card. You would have to I don't know how that would work. Does the system just download the extra tracks from
I
each
think
year
I
and
think it's its own, like you're tied to your Ubisoft account or whatever.
yeah.
Because
Yeah,
like
true.
back in the day, I had a few Wii U discs, and I think it didn't matter what I put in, you could still
Mm,
access the. Of course, that was the older service, so I'm
mhm.
not sure about now.
Yeah. I like that you can do 6 players in local multiplayer. That's pretty cool. I don't know if that's been a thing before, but I thought it was 4. So it might not be a new thing for this year, but it's nicer than just the 4 because don't you have
Yeah, I
a
think they've
yeah.
had it where you can like download on your cell phone to make it like a Wiimote, or not a Wiimote, like a Joy-Con or whatever.
Yeah, so they've got something here called the camera controller mode. So I guess that's how they do it. Yeah. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. All right, well, we'll see if you end up with that one, Trove. You can dance the night away.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like for a long time we've got them every year, and I don't know if we've gotten them the past couple of years, but
Yeah,
I'll
interesting.
keep an eye out.
Okay. Thank you. Next up is Plants vs Zombies Replanted, and I put my name against this one because I am a big Plants vs Zombies fan, specifically the first game, which this is basically. This one comes out on October 31st, sorry, October 23rd, and is available on both Switch 1 and Switch 2. I have to clarify because sometimes they say it's available on Switch, sometimes they say it's available on Switch 2, and sometimes they say it's available on both. And I think that means there's a specific edition, like a Switch 2 edition, as opposed to obviously if it's on the Switch 1, it is on the Switch 2 anyway. It's compatible. I looked them up. But I think if it says both, it means there must be a version, like a Switch 2 specific version. That's my understanding. Does that make sense to you guys?
I
It's
guess
now
so.
my understanding too.
Like, does this have the mouse controls or something?
I don't know. Maybe. I'm not sure. I don't know that much detail. Sorry. And I'm like, I kind of want some new Plants vs Zombies, but also I have played new Plants vs Zombies and not enjoyed it as much as the original. So I'm kind of happy it's the original, and it does have some new content. It's also HD graphics, etc. But it's got multiplayer, and my son Hayden, he loves it too. He's played it to death. Like he's played it a lot, more than me. So I am looking forward to giving that a go, to seeing how that co-op might work, and seeing what the new content is like. So I'm cautiously optimistic about this one. Yeah, because I just feel like they've kind of ruined the series a little bit. Plants vs Zombies 2 was fun, but it was very pay to win. Yeah, and I didn't even play 3. I think it was a bit. They changed the look, and I don't really like the 3D.
Did they all originate as mobile games, or like I think like
Yeah,
maybe DSiWare might have had one back in the day, but
they did. I was super excited when it came out on the DS many years ago. Played it there. But they did originate. I think it was a PC game originally, to be honest, and then it made its way to mobiles because it's been around. I think since like 2009. It's been a long time. So yeah, before even probably smartphones, right? I think when
Oh
the smart
yeah, I
yeah.
was rocking my flip phone back then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it was a PC thing, I think, and then it made its way to mobiles, and the DS had a version. It was super popular back then. I remember hearing about it all the time. And then it's just become a bit too, I don't know, commercialized, or it's what do you call it when it's just they've sold out a little bit. But that's just me. I don't actually know. That's just my opinion.
Mm.
Anyway, so I'm happy to see it come back in some form. I will, yeah, like I said, remain cautiously optimistic to see how they do with this version. I think it'll be I think it'll be fun, but we'll see. We'll see. But I won't dwell on that too much because it is what it is. Next up, we have Pac-Man World 2 Repack, which comes out on September the 26th, available on both Switch 1 and Switch 2. What is the deal with this one? This is a remake, right? This is not a new game.
It is, yeah. For those who found the Shadow Labyrinth game a little too dark, this is more traditional Pac-Man.
Is he a character in
Um,
this one?
I call him a character. I know Kirk doesn't, but I would call him one. Um, yeah, they actually the original Pac-Man world got remade
Mhm.
for the Switch a few years ago. I reviewed it, liked it. I think I gave it an 8 out of 10, and so I'll be excited to continue with this one. I actually own the original on the GameCube,
Oh, cool.
so kind of like I did with like Epic Mickey or Beyond Good and Evil. I'd like to be able to compare and see like, oh, they cleaned up this texture, but they changed this artwork, or that sort of nerdy stuff that not everyone's into, but I kind of get a kick out of. So I'm sure it'll be fun. It's they're more it's not like a mazy Pac-Man like the arcade games. It's more in a style of a platformer, like your Rayman or something from that era. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And if this one goes good, there's a third one too that they may repack. Who knows?
Yeah, I was just about to say there's a third one from 2005, which was on the
Yeah,
GameCube as well
and there
and the
was a kart
DS.
racer too.
Yeah.
It was a popular little series back in the day. On the GameCube, they actually bundled it as a player's choice with Pac-Man Versus, where you could use your Game Boy Advance in your GameCube, and you could have like a little chase Pac-Man, sort of like some of those Nintendo Life games, which was kind
Mm.
of cool.
So it's like a 3D platformer. Looks, I guess, a bit Mario 64 ish. I don't know
Yeah.
why. There's a fun fact here that Pac-Man World 3 was not released in Japan. It's only one
Huh,
of the trilogy. Interesting. Usually it's the other way around. Japan gets the titles and we don't. So
I
is it?
don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting. Um, do you think this? Why Pac-Man World 2? Is that because we've had Pac-Man World 1 on the Switch, and so this is the second one to get repacked? Is that the sort of deal there?
I guess so. It's
Okay.
you get more money doing them individually than you do as a trilogy, or
Mm.
you
Yeah.
know. I mean, but for that matter, they could have easily just dumped the GameCube ROM on Switch Online, Switch 2 Online. So I give them
Yeah.
credit for actually updating the game.
Yeah, true. Yeah. So the first one was out on the Switch a few years ago, 2022. So yeah, next one. So it's likely, I guess, they'll do the third. Did you play all
And you know
three? Did you
what?
say?
I throw this out in my defense. My Katamari score might have been the lowest, but I think for Pac-Man, I'm one of the highest on Metacritic.
Oh,
So
okay. What did you
different
score this
taste.
one?
I think I gave it an 8,
Okay,
which
cool.
is good. But I think a lot of people were more like, kind of like, yeah, it was okay, it was average, but
Mm. What's the
some of them
gimmick?
might be nostalgia too.
Yeah,
So I admit that.
true. But what's the gimmick that sets Pac-Man apart in these games as opposed to Mario or any other 3D platformer? What does he do that's different?
Lots of dot munching. Um,
Okay, yeah, so he does do that, yeah.
they incorporate it into the levels like as a kind of navigation type method,
Okay,
and it's been a while since I mean I did the original when I reviewed it, but the second one I haven't played in ages. So
right. Okay, cool. Alright, well, I'm slightly more intrigued now than I was before because 'cause I'm like, "Yeah." It just looks like a 3D platformer. I played a bunch of them.
And if I remember right, I think the first one came in at more of a budget price, maybe like 29.99.
Okay. Mhm.
No idea what this one's gonna come in. I guess we'll
Mm.
find out in the next September 26th. That's only what, like
Yeah,
2
well,
months away?
that's it's
Not
next
even.
month now. We're in August, so yeah,
Yeah.
not too far off. Mm.
Hopefully that's a good price too, though.
Hopefully, I would assume so. Although, yeah, I guess I don't know what the Switch 2 version might be, whether it'll be a freebie or like as in same price on both systems or not. We still haven't settled on on what that looks
It
like.
looks like the core one is the same price, gonna be 29.99,
Mhm.
and then there's some kind of deluxe version,
Oh.
which I'm hoping it's not just stupid skins for Pac-Man, but,
It will be.
um,
That's okay. Cool, thank you. Um, Next up is Final Fantasy Tactics. I don't even know how to pronounce this. The Ivalice Chronicles? And this one comes out on September the 30th, available on both Switch 1 and 2. I don't know where this fits into the Final Fantasy, like, timeline, if that's a thing. I have not had a lot of experience with Final Fantasy Tactics. I think I played one on I wanna say the DS or 3DS, one of those. What is this? What is the deal with this one, Trev? Do you know much about this one?
I really don't. I put my name here because I was shocked Kirk didn't put his name. Like, this seems like
Yeah.
his type of game.
Yeah. What's the deal, Kirk?
I think I have a logical explanation for this.
Okay. Yeah.
I've played countless games that get compared to Final Fantasy Tactics. I've played countless games that get compared to Final Fantasy, and
Mhm.
I almost always like them more than Tactics and Final Fantasy.
Fair enough,
I
yeah.
don't know what it is. But yeah, I've never played it. I didn't put it down because I haven't played this particular game, but I played a lot of games that were inspired by it.
Yes. Fair enough. That's cool.
I do
Um,
know it was popular because it was back in the day on the PS1. It was one of their greatest hits, and I got a buddy on Blue Sky who was really into it. So
mhm.
it's a game that's got fans, and I think that I like tactics games. I don't play a lot of them, but I do kind of like them. It's a different feel than the turn-based RPGs. So
Yeah. Is this the one they said was a complete rebuild when they announced it?
yeah, they got like new cutscenes or voice work or
Mm.
something like that.
Yeah, and so this is originally from 1997, the original title. So it is, yeah, almost a 30-year-old game that we're talking about here. I don't yeah, this is I mean, it looks cool. I'm interested, I'm curious, let's say, about it. I certainly like tactical RPGs, but so does Kirk. So he's, like, not interested. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be interested."
Well, well, don't take. I mean, I'm sure they're great games because, like you said, it's a beloved game. It's
Mm,
people still talk about it. I think my other problem with, and this is kind of a Square Enix thing, they have a habit of like remaking these games, and they'll remake parts of it and they'll
mhm,
remaster parts of it. But when you look at the actual gameplay, it still doesn't look a whole lot different from what it would have looked like on the Game Boy or the PSP or whatever it was on. And a lot of the games that are inspired by it, they're building from scratch and they just look so much better than this.
mm,
So it's like there's a nostalgic approach. People who played the original are going to look at it and feel right at home. But I
yeah.
haven't. And I look at it and it just seems rudimentary.
That's a fair
That's a
point.
yeah, that is a fair point, yes.
Yeah, we'll get into this again too once we get down to the HD 2D games that Square Enix announced.
Yeah, I know, I can't wait to hear you talk about those. Um, cool, well, I mean, it has its place, obviously, it's very popular. The original, at least, was very popular. I'm sure this one will be equally popular, and this is coming out, I think, on, multiple consoles. I don't know if it's the same date, but September 30th is the Switch and Switch 2 release date. We'll see how we go with that one.
It's
And
also $50. Let's not gloss over that.
oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
It's a
That's
remake of a game from 30 years ago and it's $50
$50. Yeah, that's a Square
on the
Enix
Switch
feature,
2.
isn't it?
Excuse me, the Switch 2.
Mm.
What is the price on the Switch? Still 50. Okay.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
I thought it would have been cheaper.
How much
Nope.
was Bravely Default on the Switch 2?
Was that? I think that was 40.
Yeah, I thought it was that's right, yeah, I thought it was definitely not 50. That's a lot, isn't it? Maybe they
Yeah, and
think
it
it's
looked better than this. It looks better than Tactics.
mm.
Well, Tactics was a PS1 game, though, so I mean,
Okay.
Bravely Default was a 3DS game. It was a newer game. Not that I'm defending this.
It
Yeah.
sounds like it. No, no. I get that, but I thought they rebuilt this though, but it does seem like they've deliberately taken the original into consideration anyway when they've rebuilt it, like, they've wanted to keep some of that form and nostalgia, like you said.
Now that I think about it, I'm not even sure this is the first reimagining. I think they had a Tactics on the PSP of all systems that was a version of this, but
Oh, okay.
I'm not an expert on that, so don't take it
Yeah.
with a pinch of salt.
Yeah, listeners, if you know better than us, let us know. Correct us in the comments. Thank you. But let's move on to I think this is the first one Kirk's had his name against, which is and I thought I knew you would, Persona 3 Reload, which comes out on the Switch 2 on October 23rd. What do we know
Yes.
about this one?
And this is one that I was happy about. I am looking forward to this. I was perhaps too negative at the start when I was talking about none of the games grabbing my attention. But I'm new to the Persona world. The first game I played was Persona 5 Royal,
Yes.
which I
Mm.
tried on the PS. What do we have in the basement? I don't know. Whatever we have in the basement.
Everything.
But then they released it for the Switch, and I ended up playing it and finishing it there, and really liked it. It's kind of like got the whole Shin Megami Tensei feel to it, with demon summoning and such, and good stories. I'm told. Like I said, I really got into Persona 5 quite a bit. So the more they can do with these, bringing them over, the happier I am. I will certainly play Persona 3 Reload,
Mm,
and you know, provided it's close to 5, I don't see how it would be a whole lot different. I'm really looking forward to it and expect to enjoy it.
nice. Well, that does sound positive. Yeah, it's originally released in 2006, whereas Persona 5 was 2016 originally.
Mhm.
Yeah. So let's hope it lives up to your expectations. Yeah.
And it looks like they've done a pretty good job of, from 2006 to now, because
Mhm.
they redid it for it's been out on other systems for a bit, I believe. It's just
Right.
now being released to the Switch too, but it's already been out elsewhere. And they did a good job of upgrading it for the other systems. So I expect it to, look really nice on the Switch too as well.
Mm, cool. Okay, well, that's a nice one to look forward to, and October's not too far away. Does look like we've got quite a few September, October, November releases across the board, actually. So, we've been talking on the show about the Switch 2 not having a lot of content, a bit of a dry spell kind of after the launch, but looks like there's plenty to look forward to. Hopefully, like you said initially, Kirk, there's just you don't need to like all of these games, but if there's one or two or three that sort of catches your attention, then you'll be set because it's not like we even have time to play all of these anyway.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah. Anyway, next up is one that we already knew about, which is Hyrule Warriors: Age of Imprisonment. Coming, I think they said winter, which I was a little disappointed we didn't get a release date for this one. I was kind of hoping for that. But it is coming on Switch 2. Who would like to begin? Maybe Kirk, since you were just talking and you haven't had a chance to talk too much. Do you want to go first?
Sure, because I played a lot of these Warriors kind of games. I played the Samurai Warriors games, the Dynasty Warriors games. For some reason, usually don't come to Switch, but Samurai Warriors,
Hmm.
the Fire Emblem Warriors games, the previous Hyrule Warriors games. I like these kind of Musu style games. If I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but the one against 1,000 approach to
Yeah.
combat. They do a good job of changing up gameplay elements in each iteration of it. So the Hyrule Warriors games, of course, feature a lot from Zelda to kind of make it more comfortable for Zelda players. That
Mm.
doesn't mean if you've never played one of these kind of games and you're only used to the Legend of Zelda, you're not going to be able to hop in and work your way around the same way. It's a completely different thing. But I've enjoyed these games in the past, and I'll buy this one. Since it's a well, I don't know. Do you think this one will be a Game Key card? Because it is kind of a Nintendo release,
Yeah, that's
but
a
it's
good
not developed by
question.
them?
Mm. That is a really good question. I would hope not. I would hope it'd be physical, like proper physical. But who
No,
I
knows,
was
right?
maybe.
actually surprised it was in the show because I know it's, Koei Tecmo, whatever, but with Nintendo's IP and their
Mm,
marketing and publishing push, I thought they would have saved it for a traditional direct. I'd be really bummed if it was not a proper physical release.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, same. Yeah, I was surprised to see it here too, even though technically it is, it's published by Nintendo, but it's obviously a Koei Tecmo, development, right? They develop these games, did they?
Are they the ones, or is it Goose? Because
Oh.
no, Omega Force.
Oh, okay. Right, yeah.
Oh,
Okay. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We don't even have a release date at this point, so we're not sure. I guess they can't even say 2025 or 2026 because winter in Northern Hemisphere goes over both, right? It'll be December, January, that kind of period.
yeah, just
Hmm.
barely though. I mean, I
Mm,
can't see them releasing it the last week of December.
yeah.
So
So
I think I mean, at this point, without a date, I'm thinking like just before spring, like late March
mm. Oh, okay.
2026.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so it could be a while away, honestly. Interesting. I think it looks really good. I'm very interested in this one. I've only had a little bit to do with this series of games, but I like what I have played, and I definitely feel the enthusiasm from you guys when you talk about it. So, Trev, did you want to add anything to that?
Um, Not really. I mean, I'll be looking forward to it. I've played them all,
Mm,
and
mhm.
I, especially on Switch too, because one of the issues with the last one on Switch was the frame rate. Took some hits, and I know like Justin, I think in particular, maybe had issues with that,
Mm,
but it
mhm.
didn't bother me so much. But that's just me. So I think people who are hung up on that or people who are really sensitive to that are going to enjoy whatever they come up with on Switch too, because I'm sure it's going to run beautifully. Buttery smooth, as everyone likes to say.
Yeah, yes, yes. Look forward to that buttery smooth Hyrule version of Hyrule.
And let me suggest real quickly too, if you haven't played an actual like Samurai Warriors game on the Switch, I want to recommend Samurai Warriors 5.
Yeah, okay.
Which doesn't have any of the items that they bring in from Fire Emblem or Zelda or anything like that. It's just a pure Musu style game. It was released in 2021. I gave it a really good review, and in fact, it's one of the games that I thought I wanted to bust out again and play on the Switch too,
Mm, mhm.
just to see how it performs. And I still may do that, but I
Yeah.
do recommend that if you haven't played one of these games and you want something to grab that's not Zelda specific, then definitely Samurai Warriors 5 is a good way to go.
Wow, and I'm looking at the Australian eShop here, but it is on special currently, so good timing. It's 50% off. So
Yep.
I'm gonna assume it's the same in the US, and it has a free demo. So it's kind of win-win. Get the demo, try it, if you like it, 50% off, and then you'll be set for, Horror Warriors when it comes out. Yeah,
Indeed.
thanks. Thanks, Kirk. Good recommendation. Let's move on. I think that's probably the biggest game on this list, honestly, but it's not new. That's the only problem. We knew this was already a thing, and yeah, like I said, we didn't get the release date, so that's one slight disappointment from me. But it is still coming, and it still looks good, and they didn't change it from being winter. It's still winter, so yeah, we'll just wait. We'll just wait. We've got plenty to tide us over until then. What's up next? We've got Hella, which is coming to the Switch 2 in 2026. Who would like to start with this one? Maybe
Trev, you go first. I want to hear
yeah.
what you have to say.
Let's hear Trev's
Oh,
thoughts.
okay. I was actually glad you put your name by this, Kirk, because initially I didn't. And I'm like, wait, what was Hella? And then I looked again and I'm like, oh, yeah.
Oh,
Because I
this is
thought
that little creature, like a little what is it, a rat or a frog or something
a
walking
Yeah,
around?
mouse.
Mouse,
mouse
yes, a
rat.
mouse. Yeah, yeah,
And
this looks cute.
I thought this looked gorgeous. The only thing that I'm a little suspicious of is I think they had a disclaimer that said like early gameplay footage. And I thought it
Mm,
looked beautiful. So I'm like, what kind of is
mm.
this like? Is this actual like gameplay footage? Is this some kind of mock up trickery? I don't know. But I think it looks really nice. It's funny. Earlier, I was joking about like hunting in Cabela, with the little mouse right in the moose. I'm like, it looks like one of those Cabela games, except I'm not shooting at the moose. I'm riding him. Um, yeah, I didn't know what to. to think of it gameplay wise, watching it, I just remember thinking it looked really pretty, and
It
that's kind of
does.
all I had to say.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll defer to Kirk.
Oh, and with me, it was exactly the same. Out of all the games that they showed, I thought this one probably looked the best. And
Mhm.
having known nothing about it ahead of time, it's not a remake, it's not a remaster of anything. It's not another entry in a long running series. It's a new game that I'd never seen before, and I just thought it looked fantastic visually.
Mm.
Um, and reading about it, it seems that it's just kind of like a puzzle game. It's an open world. You're going around and trying to find items and craft items in order to save this witch who's sick, and um, trying to help her out. So it even seems like it has this sort of like relaxed, gentle approach to it.
Hmm.
And if you're going to do that, then yeah, put me in a world that looks this good on the Switch too. I'm all for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree with you both. I think it looks really neat, and I think it was something that had been announced for other consoles previously, but now this is, when it was announced for Switch 2 was during this direct, so that's cool. Really cool, actually. So, yeah, let's see what more we get. Yeah, like I said, we don't have a release date, it's just 2026, but that's the case with all the other consoles as well, so we will watch this space. But yeah, it certainly stands out amongst this lot of games.
What's
Yeah.
with the name though, Hela? Isn't that
Hello.
the
Mm.
goddess of death from Thor?
I just closed the tab, but it was something to do with, was it a Finnish folklore or something? I think I saw
Scandinavian.
Scandinavian. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay,
Mm. So I don't
cool.
know. That might be the whole story with the witch and a mouse. Maybe there's
Yeah.
a little story. Yeah, which is cool.
There's also a really good quote here in the press release for this from VP of Publishing, Knight's Peak, Eugenio Vitali.
Hmm.
And he says that they're happy. He thinks that Hella and Nintendo Switch 2 are a perfect combination because, quote, not only because the console provides the perfect canvas for Hella's heartwarming adventure, but the passionate Nintendo community is known for appreciating games that offer comfort and meaning, values that Hella represents. How
Oh,
sweet. I'm
that
done.
is
Done.
very sweet. I love that. That's so cool. Yeah, definitely looking forward to hearing more about this one over the next, I guess, 6 months or so. Yeah, keep an eye out for that one. Let us know, listeners, if that was a standout for you as well. Very interesting indeed, and so cute. The little character. I assume Hella is the mouse. Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe.
Anyway, very cute. Next up is Star Wars Outlaws, which I won't dwell too much on because this wasn't new. We know this is coming. We knew it was coming on September the 4th, but we did get to see a lot more footage of this. And I'm a big Star Wars fan, so I am looking forward to playing this. Now it's only about a month away, which is pretty exciting. I think it was released. It was last year, wasn't it, on other consoles? I believe it's 2024. So not a super old game. Because yeah, one thing that I guess this direct has in common, a lot of these games have in common, there are a lot of re-releases, which is great. Like you said, Persona 3, that's something you haven't played before, and it's going to look really nice on Switch 2. Star Wars Outlaws, I haven't had a chance to play that, and I saw it come out last year, and I'm like, that looks really cool, but I can't play it unless I buy a different console, which I don't want to. So for those types of games, it's really neat, but also we want new content as well. So I don't know. I think this is a good balance generally in terms of the games that we saw. Anyway, that was a bit of a side note there. But
Hmm.
I think this one looks really good. So I'm hoping it's good. I know it's kind of had mixed reviews from what I've seen, but generally seems to be well appreciated. And I think it's got a slightly some sort of subtitle, like it's Star Wars Outlaws. I can't remember now, something edition, or I don't know, gold or something like that. There's like a little, I don't know if that means it has extra features or if there was DLC that was included. I didn't really look into that, but yeah.
Do
I'm
you
look
think this will be like Hunters was for you
I mean,
in terms of
probably
playtime?
not, because this is more like your open world action adventure type of thing where you're doing missions and exploring, and whereas Hunters is very much a PvP, you jump in, you do a round, like Pokemon Unite kind of thing. So I don't know. Very different genres. So we'll see. I don't Yeah. I just hope the story's good. It looks good. Like you sort of play this character who's, I don't know, she's some kind of bounty hunter, or she seems like a scoundrel, like a Han Solo type to me. And there are bounty hunters, and obviously, I think it's set between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, which is a good period for me, I suppose, because I like the original trilogy, as I think a lot of people do. So I think it's a good setting. So yeah, I'm curious to see what it's like. I don't know if Justin had played this at all on other consoles. Do we know? Has he had any experience?
I don't know.
I don't know. No, maybe not. I know he hasn't got a lot of time for gaming.
Mm.
Anyway, we'll see. I will pick this one up in September and give you my thoughts at the time, and hopefully it lives up to my expectations. I'm trying not to be too optimistic. I'm just like, I think this looks good. I think it'll be fun. I'm gonna give it a go.
How come they never said a Star Wars game during the holiday special? I feel like there's untapped potential there.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
Who
one
would be
day.
able to mimic B. Arthur's voice?
Wish
Well, with AI nowadays,
B Arthur was in it. Really?
Yeah,
I,
wasn't she?
I don't know. I've never seen it.
Oh,
Should
you know
I?
what? You need to check it out, and then we can revisit this somehow on the show.
All right. Okay. Okay. It'll change the way I feel about Star Wars.
That and the Ewok movies too.
Yeah, I think I did see one of them when I was a kid, the Ewok movies. I don't remember it at all, but yeah, missed the holiday special. Heard things, not good things. That's all right. Well, next up, we're not talking about Kronos for some reason, but that was a big new game, I thought. But anyway, I didn't put my name against it either, though. It looks like
Oh,
it's fine.
yeah.
I don't know if it'll
Same
be.
thing with chilling by the fire and
Yeah,
napping and
we have to skip some, don't we? But yeah, Kronos looks interesting. I don't know if it's my style of game, but it looks a bit Resident Evil-ish. But I like the time jump factor. You can jump between future and this was interesting actually. I won't dwell too much, but you're in the future and you go to the past, and there's something about some psychological impact it has on your character as you play. Like it seems like you become a bit mad over time, or you lose your I don't know, sense of reality or something. I don't know. That's going to be interesting. It looks a bit too horror-ish for me. Like I love horror movies. I've said this before. Horror games I struggle with. It's just too real. It feels too immersive. I don't know. We'll see how that one goes. But that's out on
didn't
September the
they
5th.
do something like that with what was that GameCube game? Eternal Darkness. You ever play that back in the day?
No, I know it though.
I
Yeah.
feel like it was sort of a similar thing. Like you'd start getting nutty and they'd mess with the
Mm.
screen and
Mhm.
like
Yeah, that one played with like your mind. Like there was a point where someone like turned and shot the screen, and they made it look like your TV screen had cracked.
Oh, wow.
Like that kind of thing. They were just constantly playing with your mind as the player throughout the whole thing.
Oh,
yeah.
interesting.
I think
Interesting.
like they made it look like your memory card got deleted too or something.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow, that's pretty full on, yeah, yeah. So I don't know I don't know if this is a new IP or if this has come from other consoles. I didn't really look into it, but it is out pretty soon, September the 5th, and that's on Switch too. Yeah, it reminds me of, in a way, like 12 Monkeys because there was that, the movie 12 Monkeys with Brad Pitt and Bruce Willis, and he
Yep.
was doubting his own mind over time because of the jumping back and forth. I thought that was, I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Let's go to Yakuza. I won't dwell too much on this either, except to say that it's cool that we're getting more Yakuza for the Switch. Sorry, Switch 2. So there's Yakuza Kiwami 1 and 2 are both coming out, and I believe they're separate, but they mentioned some kind of package. There was like a little subtext. I don't know if you saw that. There'll be some kind of package. It comes out November 13th. Um, this is essentially, so there's Yakuza, the original game. They remade it into Yakuza Kiwami, I think for like PlayStation something. And now, so this remade version is coming to Switch too. So it's kind of a re-release of a remake, if that makes sense. And Kiwami 2 is the same. It's the Yakuza 2 that they remade into Yakuza Kiwami 2, and now it's coming to Switch 2. There's a lot of twos there. So I mean, my only interest in this is that I just recently reviewed the Yakuza Zero. God, I can't even think what it was called for the Switch 2, which was one of the launch games, and really enjoyed it. My only thought is like, if these two games are as big as the game I just reviewed, that's a lot of Yakuza to play. That's going to take up a lot of time. So
Was Zero developed after these? I mean, it's a prequel, right? So even if,
yeah, it
our listeners have already played it, they're still playing them in order,
yeah, yeah.
chronological order.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, Zero was, made after the original, and it is a prequel, but but yeah, I did read that people were saying it was the best way to start, even though you wouldn't do that for, like, Star Wars. You wouldn't go and watch, episode 1. You shouldn't, don't do that. Go watch episode 3 first. Sorry, 4,
4.
4. My bad. So, yeah, I don't know, these games might not be as big then because these were older games originally, so not sure. But they look very similar in style. You're kind of walking around Tokyo or some city that's not a real city in Tokyo. You're playing these little mini games. You're solving. You're talking to people. You're beating people up. Like seems to have the same formula. So we'll see how they go. I think they'll look really good because the last one did. Yeah, I think if you're into the series, that's cool. Honestly. Let's see what happens. Let's move on. We're going to go to NBA Bounce, which comes out on September 26th. It's available on the Switch. And Trev, did you have an opinion on this one?
I do. First of all, I like basketball games, and I like any game that's got um, NBA license. Back in the day, there were a lot of those, but of course now, with the 2K games, it's not nearly as
Mm,
common.
mhm.
And I like the fact that this looks like it's in the mold of like classic NBA Jam or
Yeah.
NBA Hang Time or one of those games. So that's good. What I do not like are the character models. I think they are hideous.
Right?
I like is another one I watched twice, but unlike Monster Hunters, I wasn't watching it a second time because I liked it. I was watching it again to be like, what did I look at here? How can they call this NBA when these look like bobblehead furries or whatever the heck they are? Like it was just, it was weird.
I think
So,
they're meant to be the mascots, aren't they? I think.
well, maybe a couple look like mascots, but a lot of them
Yeah.
just look.
Well, like, how do you do a Denver Nugget mascot? What does their mascot look like? A giant nugget? Like, what?
No, he's the what is he? Rocky. He's the I can picture him in my head. He's a critter of something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right,
But
right.
like, how many mascots do you know? Like, I know the Phoenix Suns gorilla from back in the day, and that's about it. Like, I, j- I guess it was one of those I had expectations because when I
Mhm.
first saw it, you're like, oh, is this like an NBA Jam? Because we haven't had an NBA
Mm.
Jam update since back on the Wii around what
Mm.
2010 probably. So
Yeah.
that's like 15 years. I'm sure it'll be fun, and I may end up playing it just because I like basketball games. But man, yeah, the characters are not doing it for me.
It is odd looking, that's true. Because generally basketball games and the NBA games look a bit more even NBA Jam, not that it was realistic, but they looked like caricatures of real people, and they were still kinda tall, right? Because in basketball, it's all about jumping and dunking and yeah, I don't know. They
I
don't look
feel
like
like it set expectations because in the first few seconds I'm like NBA Jam, and then as soon as that wasn't met, it's all
Mm,
downhill. And I'm not alone. You just perusing some of the comments on
mm,
YouTube. Everyone's like, "Oh man, I wish we had NBA Jam. I thought this was NBA Jam. Where's NBA
yeah.
Jam?"
Yeah, even I played NBA Jam on the Super Nintendo. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool.
It does say in the write up in the eShop that you can unlock mascots.
Oh.
So maybe you don't have to deal with that when you're playing, at least not to start, but just don't put those costumes on them, and then you can at least have people looking people instead of bull
True.
looking people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why there's a mix of, yeah, people and creatures in the screenshots in the trailer because it looks like
But
it's a mix.
even the people, like, I'm like, it's one thing if you're trying to do like Mii's, maybe, because then I'm like, okay, that's a classic look, me NBA Jam, but they don't even look like, I don't know what they look like. They're just like Uncanny Valley. They look like some weird knockoff toy.
Yeah. Okay. That's a fair point. Yeah. I guess we'll have to see what it's like, the gameplay, and whether it actually stands up or not. I don't know. It's coming out pretty soon though, September 26th. It's next month.
Mm.
I can't believe it's August. I'm in denial. We're in August, yeah. But yeah, next month is September. Yeah, listeners, let us know if you have similar aversions to this this kind of style, or if you actually dig it. I don't know. I didn't really think too much about it, as in it didn't grab me. I did though. I did think of NBA Jam. I was like straight away, oh, is this NBA Jam? But no, it's not. So you're right, Trev. I think a lot of people made that connection initially and probably were let down a little bit because NBA Jam was really popular and really fun. Yeah.
Mm.
Does Kirk have any NBA Jam experience?
I have Super Pro Basketball on the Intellivision experience.
I love that. And were the characters
Terrible.
tall or like little chibi characters?
Neither. Or pixelated colors.
little dots.
They
How
did
many
have
buttons
names
on the
though.
keypad did you have to use?
Oh, you had to use all of them. You passed in the direction of the number pad. It was a
Ah,
great system, I think. That was the first game I ever played that allowed you to draft players. You started with a budget and you had to draft players. There was a
wow.
guy named Mojik Byrne that I had to have every time because they were fake names. They weren't real people.
Right.
You had like Thunder Dunks and Larry Hawk, for example. But yeah, Mojik Byrne was my guy.
Larry Hawk. Isn't there a Larry Bird? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
That's very ahead of its time if it was letting you draft. That's
Oh,
way ahead of
yeah.
its time.
Yeah. Well, it was fantastic, man. Super Pro Basketball.
Cool.
Loved it.
Okay.
Loved it.
Nice. Some
Where's
good.
the remake of that? Is that going to be an Amico game? Maybe they'll bring it to the Switch.
Mm.
I don't know if that one was. They didn't get far enough in the development of the Amico to
Aw.
Oh,
consider Super Pro Basketball. Sadly,
Yeah, dang it. Well, we can always just visit the basement at Kirk's house. Hopefully it's
yep.
there.
Everyone's welcome.
Yeah.
Clean up, pick
Nice.
something up, and take it out to the trash while you're down there.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you, Trev, for that NBA Bounce recap. Let's move on to there's a few games left, just a handful of games to talk about. We're getting to the good stuff though, coming up. But first of all, I did want to mention Romancing Saga 2, Revenge of the Seven, and this is on Nintendo Switch 2. Sorry, this is the Nintendo Switch 2 edition. It's available now. I probably don't need to delve into it because I realized after the fact that this was released on the Switch last year, wasn't it? So this is just a Switch 2 edition of the game that is on the Switch. And it's a 3D remake of a, 1997, I think, if I remember correctly, RPG, Romancing Saga 2 originally.
around the same time as Tactics there, Final Fantasy.
Yeah. Yeah. I could be wrong with that. Sorry. I looked it up and now I can't remember. Yeah, 93 actually. There you go. 93. So even older. But the thing I wanted to point out is that there is a demo available. So I did download the demo and I did try it and I had fun with it. It's what you expect. It's this one is a like turn-based battles. So you interact. So when an enemy, hits you, you go into a battle stance. It's got this cool thing where you form like a cross formation with your 5 characters in your party. So there's one at the front who's like your guard, one at the back if you want to protect them a bit more. Someone in the middle is kind of the leader, and then there's 2 on each side. And
There's 5 in the party. That's awesome.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's pretty fun. I literally just played the demo, and I didn't even finish that. So that's my experience.
That's cool though. A lot of them just have 3, and I'm like, no, I want
Yeah, I was
4
surprised.
minimum, but maybe even 6.
Yeah, exactly. No one's played these before? Romancing Saga series?
I haven't. The thing that strikes me as most interesting on this is you can actually get not the original version, but the Switch version of the original version for Romancing Saga 2 is also available, like with
Yeah.
the original graphics. So
What? What do you mean?
not the updated visuals. It has
Right.
the original pixel version
Oh, okay.
is
Yeah.
available separately. So
Ah,
you could get this game pretty much any way you want.
yeah. I did notice in this Switch 2 version, the demo that I played, you can switch the audio to be the classic I guess, tunes from the 1990s. So I didn't try that, but I might. But yeah, so yeah, you're right. There are lots of options. So if you were a fan back in the day and this is something you feel nostalgic about, then there's some cool ways to play it. But it is available today. Oh, sorry, it was available after the direct, so that one is actually out now. If you are interested, but like I said, there's a demo, so give it a go if you're curious. Let's move on to Shinobi Art of Vengeance, which I thought looked really cool. And this one comes out this month, October 29th. And it's got a demo as well, which you can download right now. And I have done that. But Shinobi has a long history, as we know. Who wants to kick off the discussion of this one? Trev's name's
I
first. Or no, Kirk, you go. You go. You jumped in first. It's yours.
Well, yeah, I was going to jump in because I can only talk about the history
Okay. Yeah.
because I used to absolutely love the original Shinobi video game.
Hmm.
Um, and I have that. I think it's the Sega Ages version that I have on the Switch.
Hmm.
So for the original arcade classic, I have a lot of experience. I know they've released updated versions. They've released sequels. There was a Shinobi game that came out, was it a year or two ago?
Hmm.
For Switch, not Art of Vengeance. It was something else before it that I couldn't get into, and I'll be curious to see if this one is, will hook me the way the original did.
Yeah, I thought you'd like the style of this one too, Kirk, because it's kind of that, I don't know what you call it. It looks a little bit painted, if that makes sense. The art style?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, kind of like sort of like a hand painted backdrop kind of thing.
Yeah. I have played the demo and it plays really well, and I didn't play very much because I died quite quickly. But it was super fun. And it comes out on all consoles at the same time, which I really like. So this is a brand new game, which I also really like. So I said earlier that there's a lot of remasters, remakes, whatever, a few new ones. This is a new one, and I think this is a really cool one to have in the list. So this is a Switch 1 game, though, not a Switch 2 game. As in, you can play it on Switch 2, but it's not specifically made for Switch 2. So I guess it's not super graphical or anything like that. As in, it's not going to use a lot of. It's a side scroller, right? Like it's a action adventure from the side. It's not like a 3D platformer, anything like that. Trev, what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, it looked pretty good in the fleeting look we got. It was one that that little montage at the end where they just had some rapid fire
Mm, mhm,
footage without any commentary or anything. But it looked pretty good, and like Kirk, I've enjoyed Shinobi since the arcade original, and
mm,
certainly as a kid on the Genesis, and the series has been on mostly Sega systems I associate it with, like
mm.
Saturn, Game Gear, things like that. But I'm sure it'll be fun. I'm sure it'll be difficult too,
Yeah.
as the games are. And yeah, I got to check out the demo myself.
Yeah, check it out. It's pretty good. The dude, I can't remember the dude's name. Musashi, is it?
Joe Musashi.
Joe Musashi. So is he the character from the series? Like, is he the main character?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's weird because in the original arcade game, it was set in like the 1980s.
Right.
He was like fighting helicopters and jumping, along ships
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff. And this one, it looks like the whole thing takes place in like Edo era Japan. So I don't know about Joe's story, but he's got to be
Mm.
careful with the time travel. It may, make him lose his mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe Joe's like Link. Every Zelda has a different era of Link, and
Yeah.
every Shinobi's
Yeah,
got a different Joe.
It's like reincarnated or something. They're calling it a reboot of the Shinobi series, which is interesting. So I don't know if that helps explain the time period or not. But he looks like an older gentleman. I think his hair looks grey. I think when I was playing, or maybe it's just he had a hood. I don't know. He's like a master in a dojo, and so in the demo, you're kind of the dojo's under attack, and you have to save everybody. That's the kind of opening, at least. But yeah, there's heaps of moves to learn. You collect, I guess, gold, and there's like these power moves you can do. There's a gauge that builds up, and you can do these cool ninja moves. It's pretty fun so far, at least in the demo. So yeah, I definitely would recommend giving it a go. At least the demo, yeah. See how we go when it comes out in just a few weeks, really, at the end of the month. Anything else to add to that one, Trev or Kirk, before we? Had I
Does
read it?
does it have a story mode for people like me who are terrible at these kind of games?
I Yeah, I guess that's what it is. Like, I just jumped in and it seemed like a story. Like, there's a cutscene and you're talking to.
No, I mean, like, can you adjust the difficulty so
Oh,
you don't have to worry about the gameplay? It'll all kind of handle itself, and you just get to follow along.
I didn't notice a difficulty choice when I played it, but that could be a restriction of the demo, maybe. Yeah. No, I didn't see that. Sorry. Who knows? I'm sure the final version would have, right? Would have to have some kind of difficulty setting, you would think. um,
Modernize it.
yeah, yeah. We'll skip over Borderlands 4 because we did talk about that last week, and that's coming out on October the 3rd on Switch 2. Then we've got 2 more RPGs to talk about, and these are both new titles, which is exciting. So I don't know why you guys didn't put your name against The Adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Tales, but this is coming out on 2020, sorry, in 2026, available on Switch 2. It does have a demo. Yes, I did download it. Yes, I have tried it. So far, I really like it. This is like an action RPG in that kind of isometric top-down style, but is this the 2D, is this 2D HD, would you call it, that style? Yes.
Yes, yes, I would.
We know how we feel about this, but yeah. Do you wanna remind us?
Well, I don't know. How do I do this without coming across like I'm just being way too critical? Um, and maybe it would have been better to talk about the next game first because I
Okay.
think the
Well,
first HD
mm,
2D game I played was Octopath Traveler, the first
mhm,
one, and I thought it looked really cool and I liked it. And then Square Enix just started doing this with all these games, and they all just look exactly the same to me. Like
mm,
visually, I can't tell one apart from the other. This
mhm.
one a little bit different because it does have that isometric view, and the other ones are mostly like a turn-based
Yeah,
combat.
true. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just not as sold on this visual approach as some people are. It just looks kind of chunky with better lighting, and I don't dig it,
Mm,
especially after games like Sea of Stars, for example, that have come out
true.
that have that retro look to it and look so good and have such a distinctive style that I don't want to look at this anymore. I'd rather,
Yeah.
give me either like a really highly detailed pixel look or give me modern graphics, not this mashup of the two.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. I get that. I think this one does look good, but I do much prefer the Sea of Stars style, honestly. This I don't know. Yeah, there's something about it. Sea of Stars looks fantastic though, it really does. This one, I mean, I've played the demo and quite enjoyed it. It's fun for what it is. It's, you're kind of exploring. You're this little dude with a hat and a feather in his cap, Elliot. I just don't know about the name Elliot. It just seems like such an odd hero's name. I don't know. Sorry if your name's Elliot if you're listening, but it's a fine name. It's just I just I don't
You just can't be a hero.
know.
Well, what about the dragon from Pete's Dragon? Wasn't he Elliot?
Oh,
And the kid from ET was, Elliot.
that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh
many
man, yeah.
Mm.
heroic Elliot's out there.
Yeah.
All my childhood Elliots.
Yeah. I'm not
I
dissing the
get
name, but
you.
maybe it's because of that. Maybe it's because I think of Elliot as a little kid, and this guy is like I think he's an adult adventurer. Anyway, it's fine.
Did you
It's
get
totally fine.
anybody besides the fairy, Gemma, in the demo?
You are Elliot, and you can control the ferry, which I do like this aspect. It's almost like a twin stick style in a way. Your left stick controls Elliot, and you can control the ferry with your right stick. I don't know what she does yet, though. She just talks every now and then, but I think she can do different things according to the
Hey,
trailer.
listen. Hey, listen.
Yeah.
Speaking of talking, can you switch the voice languages to Japanese?
Ooh, I did check that with one of these games. Which one was it, though? I don't know if it was Romantic Saga 2 or this one, but I did see the option in at least one of these demos that I tried. I tried 3
That
times.
fairy voice, the English version, is the exact voice that I complain about all the time that I cannot deal with in video games.
Yeah, right. The fairy or the Elliot?
Yeah, I'm not saying that particular actress. That's
Right,
just a
the
style of
style.
acting
Yeah.
that voice actors use when they're either, doing fairies or little children, and it grates on my nerves.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't remember, sorry. I did see it in one of them, but I don't know which one it was. I would say yes, you probably could though, honestly.
I'd assume it would have to be there. All
Yeah.
these JRPGs allow you to do
Yeah,
that. So
exactly. But I like an action RPG, like I guess the original Secret of Mana or even, The Legend of Zelda's adventures. Those are like that. You don't have to enter into a battle and there's no turn-based style. It's just hit them with your sword. And Elliot does have access to bombs, so it does feel a little like Link because you've got bombs and a sword. It feels like at the moment you can only choose one weapon. Sorry, you've got your bombs and you've got your sword, but you can also use an arrow, bow and arrow. But you can't seem to have a button for your bow and arrow and a button for your sword. You have to choose which is your attack. Like I think it's Y. Which of those two weapons is your Y button? And it's like, oh, that's a bit annoying to switch over because it's not like you can just press the D pad and switch it. You have to go into the menu and then allocate it to that button. And it's like, I can't be bothered changing to the arrow. I'm just going to use my sword. Like, unless I'm doing it incorrectly, because it's literally, I've spent 20 minutes on this game. It's not like I've spent hours. I just wanted to try it. So at least I could talk to it. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I think it looks, I think for a 2D HD game, it does look pretty good. And I don't know, I guess some people must like this style. We'll see, honestly. But let's talk about Octopath Traveler 0, which comes out on December the 4th, available on both Switch 1 and Switch 2. I think, Kirk, you've already covered the style. Trev, how do you feel about the style, the 2D HD style?
Um, I actually almost agree with Kirk entirely
Mm-hmm.
because
Yep.
I think it's striking and I like it, but when especially showing them back to back, they showed the Elliot game and then they showed
Mm.
Octopath, and
Mm-hmm.
they really do look pretty darn similar.
They do.
And it's
Yeah.
not that it's a bad look, but it's just not terribly distinct. Um,
Yeah.
so
Does it have
yeah, I
kind
don't
of
know
a
who edited the
yeah, sorry.
direct. I would have spread them out more.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they were maybe saving them for the end because they're 2 new Square Enix titles, right? 2, new RPGs from Square Enix, which is typically something to get excited about. I mean, I my thing was I wanted I wanted Secret of Mana or whatever the new Mana game is. I wanted that to be somewhere, and it wasn't, and I'm like, "There's so much Square Enix stuff happening. Where's my Mana game?" That's what
yeah, there were a lot of people clamoring for some of the Final Fantasy remakes
that
that had
too.
been hitting other
Mm.
systems too. So I think there was some disappointment there when
Yeah.
Square Enix only brought us these.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean,
Where's
only
Chrono Trigger?
yes. Do not make Chrono Trigger with this 2D HD 2D style though. No. No. I will not play that. I
You would play it. Maybe you wouldn't
probably
like
would,
it.
honestly. I love Chrono Trigger. But it looked so good originally, it doesn't need that. Yeah,
Yeah,
which is a shame because these are 2 new games. I mean, Adventures of Elliot is a new IP entirely. It's not even a sequel or a prequel, it's just a new game. Octopath Traveler 0, does the 0 indicate that it is a prequel of some sort? Is that what's happening
that's what
there?
I was wondering because
I bet, yeah.
Mm.
would this be a good starting point for somebody who hasn't played it? Like, I know they have the ability, like if you have save files, like you can get perks, but like, what if somebody's never played it? Would they start with 0, or would they start with the original, or how does that work? Like,
Hmm.
because this one's got more of a what's the word I'm looking for? Like life sim elements, like in terms of like town construction or something.
Ah, yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Like, does it have jobs? Or is that something that all of that series has? Like classes?
I think they all have
Yeah.
jobs.
In the others, you started off especially in the first one, it was kind of like six completely different. Wait, eight. Octo.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah,
There
yeah.
were eight completely different stories.
That's right.
And each character that you played for one of the stories had a different class. So you were kind of like forced to play all the classes. And I believe, if I remember right, you could go in any order. You just started where you wanted and then bounced to the other. So there was occasionally they would overlap, but they were like
Mm.
eight completely different things happening at the same time in the same world.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, 8 heroes. So you played this, Kirk? The original one?
The first one,
Yeah.
yes, I did.
Okay. Did the
Yeah.
style did you get used to the style after time, or was it
Yeah, like I said, I didn't mind it then because it was new,
right.
um,
Yeah.
and plus it's the kind of turn-based combat that I really like. There were
Mhm.
some really good battle elements in it that I enjoyed. I never did pick up Octopath Traveler 2, though.
Right. Because of it just felt too samey, or
Yeah, I think that was part of it. I think by the end of Octopath Traveler, I was just kind of worn out on it,
right?
and probably and most of the time when something I don't pick up a game that I normally would, it's because I just had too many other things going on when it was
Yeah,
released.
true. Yeah, well, the original was 2018. It's not an old series by any means, and then Octopath Traveler 2 is 2023. So to get a new one 2 years later, 2 years after the latest, sequel there is quite a short period. So I wonder if, there's 6 years between Octopath Traveler and Octopath Traveler 2, sorry, 5 years. I I wonder what that means for are they just better at developing this now because they've got the engine, or is it because it's a prequel, it's easier? I don't know. Usually these things take so long to put together with the story, the characters, especially if there's 8, I don't know if this 0 has 8 characters to work through or if it's the same 8 characters, for example, but, you know
I'm wondering how much this incorporates like the whole life sim element though, because like
Mm.
in the originals, were you like building up a town and adding shops and doing all this? The sense I got from looking at it, it looked like it was trying to go that whole life sim angle that we've seen a lot of recently, where oh, here's your character, build your life, build your town, sort of thing.
Mm.
Was I misreading the trailer, or maybe I don't know.
No, I think you're right. One of the things that they're doing here is it's actually based more on the mobile game Octopath Traveler: Champions of the Continent.
Ah, okay.
And that had more of those elements in it than Octopath Traveler and Octopath Traveler 2. So it's almost like this is being marketed for fans of the mobile game as opposed to fans of the previous two entries on the Switch.
Interesting. So it's not an entirely new outing then. Like, it is a new game, but it's sort of taking something that was already in existence and
Yeah,
repurposing it?
it's a
Mm.
I didn't just pull all that out of the air. I have the press release in front of me,
Right.
where it says it's regarding Octopath Traveler Champions of the Continent. It says it's adding new story and content where players rebuild their town and reinterpreted story beats unfold throughout.
Okay. That explains the quicker development time then, the 2 years between 2
Yeah,
and 0. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. I mean, I think if you're a fan of the series, this is probably something people would be very excited about. I doubt I'll play it. I think I played the Octopath Traveler. I think there was a demo. I think I played the demo. I don't think I played the full game. Um, yeah. So, listeners, let us know what you think about the graphical style. Are we into the 2D HD? Are we over it? I don't know. I just think it looks a little. I don't know what the word is, like muddy or grey brown. I don't know. There's not
Maybe
very
we just need somebody other than Square using this style to see
maybe.
what they can do with it.
Yeah.
yeah,
Is it? It's not
But
like it's a.
I don't think it's a copyright
Yeah, I was about
like
to ask, is it
thing.
like a patented style that only Square owns?
Yeah, I don't think you can do an IP for that sort of. Well, I mean, who knows nowadays? But I don't think so.
Yeah.
did they create the engine maybe, and someone would have to license the engine to do it? I mean, even then, it can't be something that's that hard to redo on your own. But
True,
what do I know?
exactly.
I know nothing about this. I'm not a developer, so
Yeah.
yell at me if I'm wrong.
Anyway, so that one comes out in December. I think, overall we've got some pretty good things to look forward to. This is kind of the next, what, 5 months worth of content? We presume there'll be maybe a Nintendo Focus Direct in September. There usually is. So maybe we'll hear more about things like Metro Prime 4, and maybe we'll get a release date for things like Horror Warriors at that point. But I guess just to summarize this episode and the direct, you guys have some final thoughts on what we've discussed today?
I will add real quickly
Yeah.
that I still, aside from Metroid Prime 4,
Mhm.
I really want a third party or Nintendo themselves to give us really something new for the Switch 2
Mhm.
that is going to be a must-own kind of game. I don't think we've seen that yet
Mm,
after the initial release, of course, say after like a Mario Kart World,
mhm.
for example. I even feel that way about Donkey Kong Bonanza. I don't think that's a must-own. Um, I
Mm.
want that. I need it. I still need my Breath of the Wild has yet to be released to this system.
Yeah, fair enough, yeah. Trev?
I think Bonanza might be a must-own, but
Well, I would tend to agree there, but we like different games too, Kirk, so
that's true.
Actually, you have a lot of
Bonanza needs
crossover.
some demons. If Bonanza
Yeah,
had some demons
yeah,
fighting,
yeah.
that'd get Kirk.
I need more, yeah, more. If there was more melodrama, say between the characters.
There is
I'm
a little bit.
a little bit, yeah, a little bit. And the elders are kind of they're not demonic, but they're, like, kinda godlike, I don't know.
Those banana beards kind of freak me out.
Yeah,
They're
they
like
do.
turning brown and
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, Thank you, Kirk. What's your final thoughts then, Trev, on this whole thing? I
I just hope I hope these games, these third party games, I hope that there's no Switch 2 tax, and
Mhm,
especially if they're going the game key card route,
mhm.
you know, take a chance, test the waters with the full physical release, and see how the fans react.
Yeah.
Maybe the sales will justify it. It's you look at the initial release of games, the best selling non Nintendo Switch games were third party games that had physical games on cart like Cyberpunk. So
Mhm.
stop that. My cats are fighting in the background. I don't know if you could hear that.
Oh, I heard something. I didn't know what it was.
They're
Something.
telling
Thought
me it's
man,
time to stop.
Yeah.
I thought the birds in Australia were starting to sound really weird.
It happens, it happens.
Uh,
Well, thank you both for that discussion on the Nintendo Direct, the partner showcase. I think there's a lot of good content to look forward to. We're still waiting for that one big game, so let's hope that comes our way soon. We'd love to know your highlights, listeners. Let us know what stood out to you in the Direct. What are you looking forward to playing on your Switch 1 or Switch 2? But thank you both for joining me this week. Thank you, listeners. If you'd like to hear more from us, you can follow us on social media. We are on Blue Sky. We are also in the final stages of putting together our Pure Nintendo magazine. So if you'd like to support us and get yourself a copy in the mail directly to your door, you can head on over to patreon.com/Pure Nintendo and join our supporter list. But until next week, thank you and game on, everybody. Bye.
Bye.